Okay, so welcome to HOMT 611 Events Management. Today is our sixth session, and today we will be looking at events and new technologies. Now, aside from the new normal introduced by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has changed a lot of how events are organized in the hospitality and tourism sector, we have to be cognizant of the fact that prior to the pandemic, various new technologies were being introduced that were supposed to enhance customer experiences when it came to the organizing and execution of events. So in today's session, we will be looking at some of these new technologies, including those that were popular before COVID, during COVID, and are still popular after COVID, and how they are helping the event management sector to be able to enhance customer experiences in the execution of the various events that are planned daily in the sector. So as usual, there are various learning outcomes we hope to achieve. The first one is to be able to describe these new technology trends in events management. And the second one is to be able to explain these technologies and how they can be used to enhance events management. And specifically in the end, we will look at one particular event management software, and we will learn practically how to use it to be able to generate what we refer to as the event floor plan, which we discussed into detail in our previous session, and how it makes it easy for site management during the planning and execution of events by event professionals. So in a nutshell, these are the learning outcomes that we hope to achieve by the end of the session. And with that, we will start from the first kind of technology, which is virtual meeting technology. And currently we are on one of the most popular virtual meeting technologies, which was not so popular prior to COVID, but with the introduction of COVID became very popular and is still very popular to date, being one of the main technologies that is being utilized for the organization and execution of events in the hospitality and tourism sector, and that is Zoom. So in the wake of COVID-19, many companies are changing their usual in-person events into virtual events. So we realized that since COVID-19 came upon us, we have been experiencing virtual conferences, virtual seminars, virtual meetings, virtual exhibitions, even virtual concerts and award shows, right? And all of these have been made possible because of these virtual meeting technologies, right? So the technology that is inherent in these virtual meeting technology that enables us to execute these events in real time, like the award shows and the conferences, is what we refer to as streaming technologies. So through streaming, organizers of these events, including event professionals, are able to extend events to users who couldn't make it. For instance, right now, because everything is online, people can log on from any destination at any point in time, which was hitherto a restriction prior to COVID, where people had to physically show up to the location in order to experience the event. However, now with these technologies, people can log on and participate in events anytime because they are being streamed online in real time, right? Also, it helps event professionals to engage international customers. For instance, hitherto, if you were organizing an event in Ghana like the 3 Music Awards or the Rapaholic concert, you were only restricted to those people who could physically show up to the location to participate in the event. However, now, because of online streaming of these events using the virtual technologies, we can be able to get people from different parts of the world to tune into and participate in the event in real time without showing up in person. Also, through online technologies like social media and Facebook, all of which facilitates virtual meetings and virtual streaming, we can be able to get people talking online about the event, both before the event, during the event, and after the event has been organized. So we can have people having conversations about the event after it has taken place, talking about its success, talking about what goes on in the event, what went on, what they would like to see in subsequent editions of the event, and whether or not they believe the event was successfully executed, right? And based on the success of events that are organized virtually using these technologies, it could influence other people who did not participate to participate in subsequent events of the same nature online in future. And then perhaps based on the reputation that has been built for the event online using these technologies, when it goes back to in-person versions of the event, would also be able to attract participants to come and participate in the event. And like I said, there are several of these technologies that facilitate these virtual meetings and seminars, as well as online streaming. The social media platforms, including Facebook and Instagram, all support live online streaming with varied limitations. However, when it comes to online streaming of events, these other technologies have unlimited capacity in terms of the number of people who can attend and the various functionalities that can be used to facilitate the organizing of these events, including Zoom, Skype, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, free conference call, and Cisco WebEx. All of these are examples of virtual meeting technologies that can be used to be able to organize events online. Now, aside from virtual meeting technologies, we need to talk about another very important technology, which is still not so popular in Ghana, but it's quite popular in other parts of the world. And that is what we refer to as facial recognition. So facial recognition is basically technology that records an attendee to an event's facial features, using pictures that they upload when they are registering for the event, or pictures that they upload to provide this information to enable whoever is deploying the software to get their facial features in order to be able to recognize them when they show up the day of the event. Good. Now, when it comes to facial recognition, it helps the firm or the organization or the individual organizing the event to be able to automate certain personalized actions. Personalized actions in terms of certain things that have to be done with regard to the personal information of the individual in question, including their facial features, being their pictures, their name, their age, among other things that are specific to them. So through facial recognition, event professionals and organizers can automate various personalized actions like printing a badge for an attendee at an event, or printing a name tag. Because when they show up at the event, you don't need to ask them what their name is to print the tag. You just scan their faces and the software will automatically tell the computer whether or not this is the person. And the face that is recognized is what will be used to be able to pull up the person's information and then print the badge or the name tag for the attendee at the event. Facial recognition also helps us to be able to finalize swag bags for ticket tier events. So swag bag is like the bag that you get when you attend an engagement and you are leaving, the gift bag. That contains all the souvenirs. And you realize that depending on the type of event you are dealing with, various kinds of souvenirs are shared. For instance, if it's a conference, when you attend, you are given a bag with a notepad, a pen, conference proceedings, other booklets. Sometimes they will add a few freebies like pen drives and pencils and other things to this particular bag that we refer to as the swag bag, right? So facial recognition can help you to be able to determine exactly how many people have showed up for the event, so that you can be able to prepare swag bags for the exact number of people. Then you can avoid preparing bags for people who did not show up. And usually facial recognition helps to eliminate the problem of people collecting more than one bag. And this is very common at events, isn't it? Yes. They'll collect, then they'll come again, and they'll come and collect, and you realize that you have not served everybody, but then you have a shortage of the gift bags. So facial recognition also helps us to be able to achieve this objective of making sure that each person gets what they deserve. So that if you collect once, your face is scanned. You can't come back again and collect another one, which will also eliminate wastage. Yeah. Good. And facial recognition can also help us automate certain access points. So for instance, if you are organizing an event that has different locations within the same event. So for instance, you are organizing the event at a multi-purpose center, and there are different centers within the large center for different events. So for instance, at a conference, you can have speakers speaking on different things in different rooms.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide that depending on who has paid to have access to a particular room, you will use facial recognition to limit access to the room, such that people can't just walk around and go and sit in any room. So depending on the number of rooms you've paid to access, your facial recognition will be provided at the entrance of these rooms. So that when you get to the entrance, they'll scan your face, and if you are meant to be in that room, they will allow you to enter. If not, then you will not gain entry. Please, I hope that makes sense.
Yes, please.
Good. So facial recognition helps a lot in terms of making the work of an event professional easier, particularly in managing events that involve a lot of personalized individual actions and contact that the event professional has to stay on top of. But like I mentioned, facial recognition is not very common in our part of the world, particularly in Ghana, because the software is very expensive. And the software is also largely still in development. So day in, day out, there are different upgrades that are being created for the facial recognition software. Please, I hope you understand.
Yes, please.
Good. So hopefully by the time it gets to our part of the world, they would have perfected it. They would have perfected it to the extent that it works seamlessly, because there have been issues with regard to facial recognition in different parts of the world where people have been able to pass for other people.
Oh, okay.
Given that they have certain features that are similar to those of the other people, the facial recognition was not able to differentiate clearly between them. So they are still tweaking the level of precision of the software, right? Hopefully by the time it gets to our part of our world, it has been perfected. So facial recognition software makes venues more attractive to corporate planners. And this is because when it comes to corporate events, you realize that you are dealing with a lot of sensitive information and a huge number of participants. So for event venues that have facial recognition, corporate planners prefer them because it helps to speed up event check-ins, especially if you have a lot of people. You can't have everybody walking up to the table and then taking your time to ask what their name is, what their number is, and filling all that in manually. But with the facial recognition software, you just use the machine, and then as they approach the table, you scan their faces and all their information pops up. This makes it quicker for people to check in to the event. It also improves security, because facial recognition can be able to tell us all the information of the different people who come to the event. So that in case there's an emergency and something happens and you need to track certain individuals, you can effectively do so using facial recognition. It also helps to collect valuable leads by tracking attendees' visits to booths. Given that you have automated access to all the individual booths, in the event that the person who runs a particular booth at a trade show wants access to the information of all the people who visited their booth so that they can send subsequent information to continue the conversations that were started during the trade show, you can conveniently provide that information because you were scanning all the participants who entered each of the booths. So you can quickly isolate that information and print it out for the particular business owner in question. Please, I hope that makes sense.
Yes, please.
Okay. So that is it for facial recognition. Another trend that we can see is branded event apps. So this is often used when we are having large-scale events and exhibitions like conferences and trade shows. And here, the organizers of the event will develop an app to be able to provide attendees with all the information that they need, and also enable the event professionals and organizers to communicate effectively with the event participants, right? Such that they have various opportunities as attendees, including the ability to network, interact, which is usually done amongst the attendees themselves. And you realize that a lot of the apps that are developed for these purposes have a section where people can go and chat with other members on the app for the event. Then we can also talk about engagement, where the event professionals can engage the attendees with various forms of information via push notifications. In the event that perhaps there has been some change in the schedule and you want to inform everybody, rather than standing on the PA system and shouting, They would rather send a notification through the app to all the event attendees or participants who will have installed the app prior to showing up at the event. Attendees will also be able to communicate with the speakers at the event, the exhibitors, as well as their peers who attended the event, because all of these people would have installed the app and joined the discussions and conversations on the app. So anybody can communicate with them. Please, I hope that makes sense.
Yes, please.
Good. Also, like I said, with trade shows or conferences, these apps can also help to be able to provide valuable information to event attendees or participants. For instance, in terms of the maps of the location, the maps can be pre-uploaded into the event app, as well as the biographies of each of the speakers, and then the event schedule, such that once the person installs the app, they will automatically have access to the maps of the venue to be able to locate important sections at the event venue. They will also be able to get the biographies of all the speakers of the event, and then also access the schedule of the different events of the different activities at the event, including each speaker and when they will be speaking, and then the different activities apart from those the speakers are engaged in that will also be taking place. So this app helps to replace the bulky information packets that were previously distributed to event attendees prior to the development of applications for this purpose. So before you go to a conference and then they'll give you a huge bag, which contains, like I mentioned, notebooks, schedules, books, conference proceedings, pens, pencils, stationery, all these things, which was often bulky and heavy to carry around. And you needed all this information to be able to enjoy the conference, because the maps and the schedules and all the things that had been put into the bag are needed to be able to participate in the conference activities. However, the app helps to be able to reduce the size and the bulkiness of these packets, which now would only contain perhaps a notebook and a pencil or a pen to take notes, and then perhaps a hard copy of the conference proceedings, which serves as a souvenir. Every other piece of information can be conveniently put into the event app to be able to make it easier for people to enjoy the conference and locate important activities that are taking place at the venue during the conference or whichever event for which the branded event app is being utilized. Also, like I mentioned earlier, notifications can be sent to participants throughout the period of the conference, especially where it has to do with changes in schedule and other emergencies that every participant needs to be aware of or communicated to about, to be able to ensure that they continue to enjoy the superior experience at the conference. Now, hitherto, they would have had to find a PA system or go from place to place shouting, trying to inform conference participants about these new developments. However, with the app, they can just send one message and push it to everybody in the form of a message blast, who will have access to it and be able to use it in a timely manner to make decisions regarding the nature of their experience at the event. So examples of platforms that can help you to develop these event apps include Bizabo, right? So Bizabo is a platform or a website that provides an entire suite of event products. Now, part of these products is the ability to develop a branded application, which includes social media integration and private messaging features to be able to use during your event, right? So for a small fee, you can go to Bizabo, join the platform, and you have access to various event branded products that you can use to facilitate the smooth execution of your event, as well as features that will help you develop an app to be able to facilitate the execution of your event. Another one we can talk about is Hoover. Hoover is also an all-in-one event management software with app building capabilities. So it can help you to be able to develop an app that can help with the registration of the participants at the event, help you to market to participants at the event, create a conference app that you can be able to use to manage conferences, as well as facilities that can help you to be able to create a website for the entire event, right? As well as manage your agenda during the planning and execution of the event. And also use it to check attendee check-in to the event, and then when they check out, all using the conference app. So like I said, Bizarbo and Hoover are two platforms that offer various technologies regarding event management. However, in terms of branding, in terms of building applications that you can use to execute your different events, Bizarbo and Hoover are two of the best platforms that you can use. However, their services come at a fee. So even though there are certain services you can access for free, there are certain limitations too that you will have if you do not subscribe to the premium packages that they offer. So that is it for building and utilizing branded apps in your events. Please, does anyone have any questions so far? Or you're okay?
You're okay.
So far, what technologies have we talked about?
Zoom.
We talked about it under what? Zoom is an example of what? Virtual meeting technology, isn't it?
Virtual meeting, yes.
Good. Then after that, we talked about what again?
Face recognition.
Face recognition, good. And then now we have talked about branded multi-use event apps. Harriet, is everything okay now?
Yes, Doc. Me, I'm a mechanic. I fix it.
Okay, all right. Great. Great. So we've discussed 3 so far. The next one we are going to talk about is venue sourcing tools. And this is one of the most needed tools in events management, particularly because it has to do with what we discussed last week in terms of site management. And venue sourcing tools are basically technology programs that allow event planners to search for, browse, and filter through various venue options in their chosen location. So through such platforms, you can be able to search through all the possible venues in your location that you can use to organize your event, and also have access to planners who own and plan events using these various venues that we have talked about. And you can easily post a request for proposals to get the managers of these various venues to submit quotes regarding how best they can be able to help you organize the event that you are thinking about organizing using the venue that you are looking for. And depending on the level of detail that the website offers, you can also be able to discover detailed venue layouts. Remember, we talked about the fact that the layout of the event space is very important. You remember?
Yes.
Good. So some events venues will make their layouts available and tell you all about the range of their capacities that they can take, the different rooms that they have, and the capacity of each of these rooms or locations, and then the various services that they offer on site. And because there are so many of them available in one place on these online platforms, you can be able to find the few that are promising and then take your time to go through each of them, considering the size of your event, the price that you have to spend, and what you are looking for in terms of specifics and on-site services, to be able to ultimately arrive at the final venue, if not set of venues that you want to consider for organizing that particular event. So for venue sourcing tools, there are so many of them available online. However, I wanted to introduce you to one foreign one and one local one, right? So let's first start with the foreign one. So the foreign one is called Splicer, right? And Splicer is an online platform that helps you to be able to locate various venues in the United States of America. So let me quickly share my browser with you as we go through the Splicer website and see how it works. Sorry. Please, can we see the website?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Good. So what does it say? It says what? Find your space. Discover and book unique spaces for your upcoming event. So it's saying we should specify the location. And then when you click on it, you can see the different locations pop up. You see that? So these are the different locations where they have venues listed in this website. Can we see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So what location should we choose? Assuming we are looking for a venue to host our event. I think we should do Miami.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Hey.
Oh, Miami is fine. No?
Miami, that's where all the celebrities are going now.
Yeah.
Yo.
Okay, so let's do Miami. And then we have to specify the kind of activity we are doing. So is it a meeting, a photo shoot, a film shoot, a retail pop-up, a wedding reception? Wedding reception, good.
Yeah.
So you realize that because of the convenient nature of these technologies, you can be able to even narrow down the venue you are looking for to the specific kind of activity that you are looking for the venue for.
Yes.
So do you see how it makes your work easier as an event professional? Good.
Yeah.
So when you click search, it will start the process of searching and bring you a whole manner of options. Can you see that?
Wow.
So here they're showing you the venue, how much they charge per an hour, and some of the services that they offer. So for instance, for the wedding reception, they are telling you that modern office with outdoor area near, there's a name of the place, in Miami. They charge $450 per an hour. And they can take up to how many people?
50.
50, good.
50.
And then they offer food, isn't it? Food and beverage.
Yes.
Can you see that?
Food and beverage, yes.
And when you send out a message, they usually respond within what? An hour. So that means that if you are in a hurry and you don't want to waste time, you need to consider these people because they'll respond to you very quickly. But their price is high.
A bit higher.
Now look at this one, downtown Miami meeting room. They charge how much? $30 per hour. But look at the number of people they can take.
8.
That's not enough at all. And they don't offer food and beverage. Do you see?
Yeah.
But they also respond within an hour. Then the next one is bar in Doral, isn't it?
Yes.
And then they charge
$390
$390 per hour. Eesh. But they can take how many people?
637.
So if you are having a large event, this is a place to consider.
Yeah.
And they offer what? They also offer what? Food and beverage.
Food and beverage, yes.
But there's no response time. So we can't tell whether they respond within an hour
or not.
Or not.
This place, even if you are not up to 600, Lord, even if you are not up to 637, and then because of COVID protocols, this place should be an optional. Like
good, yes.
Good,
very good observation, Harriet, because you can do the social distancing very well in such a space.
Yeah.
Very good observation, Harriet. Right? So you can see the different locations, all in Miami, the different price points. This particular one is $708. Hey, but look at the capacity. 1,000 people. Right? So, like we mentioned earlier, these platforms make it easy in the sense that you as an event professional can be able to put in all your specifications and then it will bring up the venues that meet those requirements. Whereas previously you will have to manually visit every single location, isn't it?
Yes.
And check if they have your requirements.
Yeah.
And tick. Right? So this is the foreign example from the United States. Let's look at a local example from Ghana. And this one is the event venue guide.
In Ghana?
Yes, in Ghana.
I didn't know we had. Really?
Welcome to event management class.
Oh, this one will help us though.
Yeah, so this is event venue guide, right? This is in Ghana. And here you can be able to type the venue name that you are looking for or the location.
Yeah.
So what's our location? Are we in East Legon, Kaswa?
Let's do
East Legon is fine. There are places.
Let's do East Legon. But before we go in search of East Legon, look at what is happening. As we enter East Legon, it's telling us the various options available. Do you see? Are we East Legon, Accra, or East Legon Hills? Or around the East Legon police station? Or East Legon Trasaco? Do you see that? Very efficient, isn't it? So we are East Legon.
Yes.
Trasaco, or
East Legon Hills.
Hills. Okay, so East Legon Hills. Right? So we have to click search. But before we do so, look at the platform. You can be able to either use this or browse the highlights of the different venues that people have for organizing specific events, including what? Weddings, parties, conferences, concerts, or a place that you want to stay, or even a place that you want your children to play at. Do you see that? Good. So if you want to organize a children's party, that includes play, you can click here. And as you scroll down, you can also use these tabs, which are similar to what we saw up there. And then they also have a list of the best venues in different parts of Ghana. They don't just do Greater Accra, by the way. They do all over Ghana. So you can see that the best venues for your next event include, this one is what? In Shire Kumasi. It's called the Cove Event Center. Then this one is Rufus Green Parks at where? Katamanso. You see that? Then they have Spintex. So this is in Ghana, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go back to our East Legon Hills and then click search. So we've clicked search. Let's see the options to bring us in East Legon Hills.
Is this free or you have to make some payment?
This is free.
Free.
My dear students, this is free. So it comes with a map. Do you see? So if our event is in East Legon Hills, these are the event venues available. So Accra Marriott Hotel. And here they offer, you can see these things, conferences, accommodation, you can do your wedding reception there, among other things, right? Then they have Aviation Social Center. Then they have Diva House, which is at Agostino Neto Road. Then they have Best Western Premier, which is at Accra Airport. Then they have Holiday Inn. You see that?
Yes.
Then they have Quiet Terrace. So when you click on each one, it will open and tell you all the services that they offer. You see, with pictures of the different places. So they can organize a conference, hotel facilities, you can organize a party, you can also organize wedding reception. Holiday in Accra. Then a phone number to contact them. Then you can click here and it will take you to Holiday Inn's website. Do you see that?
Yes.
Then you can click share and then you can share it on WhatsApp or Facebook or any of the social networking platforms.
Wow.
Then here, if you are convinced about this venue, you can click on it and then they'll add it to your list of preferred venues. And then you can go ahead and start negotiations. Right? And this is all available in Ghana, ladies and gentlemen.
I have to add my restaurant to it.
Then you have to contact the people.
Yes.
So then they have Quiet Terrace. Do you see that? Then Memory Lane Art Park. Then they have Town Palace Hotel. Then Terra Alta. Then the Palms by Eagles Hotels, right? So these are the options they gave us for the location.
In Ghana.
All these are in Ghana, my sister. All these are in Ghana.
Palms, there is Palms in.
Yeah. Let's try. Taiba is where? At Hacho, right?
Yes.
Let's try Hacho and see. Yes, Hacho Atomic Road is here. So Hacho Atomic Road. Let's search and see what will come up. Wow. Okay. So Arc Event Center, which is just around the corner here. Then Atomic Guest House. Then the Easter Conference Hall on the University of Ghana campus. Then Lamore Event Gardens, which is just down the road from the from Taiba, I think. Then M&S Eden Garden Event, also down the road from Taiba, heading towards Atomic. Then Memories Place, do you see that? Also along the Atomic Road. Then Oriental Hotel, that's North Legon. You come inside the base like you're heading towards Agoba. Then Villa Victoria, that's along the Westland Road.
Hey, Prof, you know places, so.
The area.
Some of these places, they are my area. I don't know.
So this is where Taiba should have featured. But Taiba is not here. So yourself some hard questions.
Madam.
Yes, Kasim.
So it means that before your facility will feature on this app, you need to necessarily talk to them
Yes.
before they will feature it on.
Good.
Yes.
So in this case, the first should be talking to them if necessary. To feature
do Legon Gardens and let me see your Agboba Junction.
Okay, let's quickly do that. A moment.
Please.
All right. So we should do where?
Agboba Junction.
That'll be North Legon Agboba. So let's Legon. There's North Legon Hospital, North Legon Little Campus, North Legon Road, North Legon School Complex. Okay, let's do Agboba.
Okay.
So Agboba, there's Agboba Police Station, Agboba Cemetery, Agboba Ashoman Road. Yeah, that's the Agboba Road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's do Agboba Ashoman Road and see. Again, we have Arc Event Center.
Yeah.
Cedar Gardens, Lamore Events, Easter Conference, Oriental, M&S, no Taiba.
Yeah.
I think they put it there with your consent. So
I don't even see Taiba on Google Map. Look at the map. Taiba is not on the map.
Oh, are you sure? I'm on the map.
Papaya is here. KFC. Wisconsin is here.
Papaya just came.
Cheesy Pizza is here. I don't see Taiba.
I'm on the map.
Where?
I've been on the map since.
No, look at the map.
Look
at the map. Along the Hacho Road. Look at it. Do you see the road?
Legon bypass, yeah.
Yeah, Taiba is not there. Or maybe because you are not listed. Is it?
That is serious.
Yeah, that's serious. So I don't
how can I find it on?
Let me see.
But when you do Uber and all that, I'm there.
So maybe it is because you have not listed.
I'm not on the list.
Website.
Okay.
Because Lamore Events Garden is here. Papaya is here. Cheesy Pizza. But Fidelity Bank is not an event location, but it's here. Okay, it has nothing to do with their main objective, but it helps as a landmark for directions for people to get to the various event venues.
Okay.
And then certain locations have to be compulsory located on maps, like hospitals.
You see, the Botanical Gardens
stations
is also there, but it's not.
Yeah, and schools as well.
at
Yeah. So University of Ghana is there, but the Botanical Gardens is here. See.
Yes, that's something. It's there.
But
I'm sure it's being used as a landmark or something.
Yeah. That's interesting. Well, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We have one in Ghana. So if you are looking for a venue, don't go and start calling people and asking, do you know anywhere? Please use the technologies available.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is it for venue sourcing. Your school fees is paying off. Paying off the most, isn't it?
Yes.
So, madam.
Yes, Kasim.
So if I want to access this, I just type in the name. I just go open the web and type in the name of this app.
Yes, please. When you get the slides, the links are all there. You can just copy and paste, and it will take you straight to the website.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so moving on from venue sourcing tools, we can also talk about projection mapping. Now, this is very popular in Ghana's wedding industry and party industry. So when we talk about projection mapping, it's a kind of technology that works with augmented reality. And this is usually done to enhance attendees' experiences using videos, graphics, and animation, right? To be able to ensure that they are able to transport the event attendees from one location to the next, to a new location, using these various projections of videos and graphics and animation. So like I was saying the other time, sometimes you enter a wedding reception and then you have to step back out to make sure that you have not entered into a different world. Because when you enter the place, the way the atmosphere of the place is, you ask yourself, wow, where have I entered in? And most of the time, these unique experiences of wow, where have I entered into, are usually created using projection mapping. And it's basically a combination of 3D displays of video, graphics, and animation combined with lighting. And using these tools, event professionals can transform event spaces into locations that are out of this world, which help to achieve what we refer to as the wow factor for event attendees and create a unique experience. And once the event participants leave this location, they can't help but to consistently talk about the events that they attended to other people, which could lead to additional business for the event professional and the people who were responsible for creating that unique experience in that location. I remember when Unique Floral first started the unique wedding receptions with plenty flowers and lots of white drapery and decorations, elaborate decorations at the Unique Floral Center. It was the talk of town. Everybody was always asking, hey, how did they do it? If I have an event, that's where I'll go and have it. That's where I'm aiming at. But a lot of people could not afford it because of the cost involved in putting together these elaborate displays. However, that's beside the point. Our main point here is that most of this is achieved using a technology known as projection mapping, right? So because there are no real limits to what the technology can do, being projection mapping, event planners can be able to stretch their imaginations and imagine all sorts of things that they want to use to transform an event space. And they can be able to use this technology that we are referring to execute these ideas. And because of the projection mapping technology and the various effects, including the lighting that is used, they can project everything from maps to interactive art, to images, to scenic locations, as well as create elaborate displays of light that can help transform an event space into something totally out of this world, right? So quickly, before we progress and look at some of the providers of this projection mapping technology, both locally and internationally, let's look at some quick demonstrations of projection mapping at work, right? Okay, so let's quickly look at them. I'm going to project the video player on the screen now, and we are going to look at each of them one after the other. So please, if you give me a moment, I just want to load the video so that they will play in succession. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there are 7 of them. Please, I'm sharing the player. Please let me know if you can see it. Please, can you see the player?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, please, did you just see that?
Yes.
Good. So that is an example of projection mapping. Did you see the way the lights were moving?
Yes.
Good. It's achieved with a combination of lights and the movement of the glasses that have been strategically placed around the lights.
Okay.
Please, do we get it?
Yes, please.
Yes, and it's the projection mapping technology that was used to achieve that. Let's quickly look at another one. Sorry. Good. This is the one it has to see. Please, can we see the lights?
Yes.
you see how they've been combined with the movement of is it the draping lights from the top
Yeah.
and the flowers? Good. This is all projection mapping. Can you see that?
Yes, please.
Good. So you can see that the lights are moving. It's like they are flashing. There are blue lights on the walls. Some places look pink. And this is combined with the positioning of the flowers and the lighting and the position of different fixtures and artifacts in the room. And this is all projection mapping. You see the way the lights are moving?
Yeah.
In collaboration with the items that have been draped from the rooftop downwards and the chandeliers and the positioning of the different cutouts in the room. All of this is creating some kind of effect, right? This is a dance floor. It looks like the lights are in the floor, isn't it?
Madam, please, you just mentioned a particular terminology. I don't know it. Chandeliers, what is that?
Chandeliers.
Those
Lights.
that drop from the ceiling. Those elaborate lights that drop from the ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Now, this projection mapping is in contrast. It was not projected on the walls. This one was projected on the wedding cake. Now, watch it in action. Do you see how unique and beautiful it looks? So instead of doing decorations on the cake, they made the whole cake white so that they can use projection mapping to create this unique imagery. Cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Real cool.
This is all projection mapping technology. So imagine sitting from afar and then watching this wedding cake at a wedding. I think during the Kenzie 2020 wedding, they had a cake like this, showing videos
Madam,
of.
It only fell from the roof. It wasn't like this. This is
Thank
better.
you. So what? So you realize that in Ghana here, they still have a long way to go.
Oh yes.
In perfecting the thing, right? But there are people who specialize in offering these services, right? So it is very important for us to appreciate the unique nature of technologies like this and how they can add a unique touch to our event venue. Please, I hope that makes sense.
Yes, madam.
Because gone are the days where we attend basic events that you just go and sit in the reception and you look at the bare walls and you look at the people around, you eat, you drink, and you go your way. Now the receptions and the other events organized are all about these unique experiences. And you can only be able to do so using technology like projection mapping and lighting. Now for the companies that provide these services, a lot of them have an online presence, right, which you can reach them on. Now we will talk about a local and a foreign example, starting from AVFX Event Technology. So AVFX Event Technology is a US company. Let me quickly go to their website. It's a US company that deals in all manner of technology for events, including projection mapping. And for them, they do even more elaborate levels of projection mapping. They can project even on buildings, as you can see in the screen. Please, can you see it?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
They project art even on whole buildings, depending on the experience that you are trying to create as an event professional. However, this company is based in the United States, right? So you can book their services for different events that you are organizing, including corporate events, virtual events, right? As well as trade shows and exhibitions. And you can also book their services based on what design you want specifically. Do you want event technology? Do you want production design, lighting design, LED wall design, among others? They offer all these services, right? And that is for AVFX Technology Services from the United States. Now in Ghana here, one very popular company you can use is Megamark Stage Effects. Have you heard about them before?
No, please, I have not
Good.
heard.
So
No, Doc.
So MegaMark is responsible for a lot of the videos that we just watched, including the LED floors, all the wedding reception videos that we saw, except the one with the cake, were done by MegaMark Stage Events, and they are located in Ghana here. Please, do we understand?
Yes, please.
Good. So you can contact MegaMark Stage Events if you need their help to be able to pull off any of these unique events that we have talked about in creating a unique
To do
experience.
signage as well.
Pardon?
Will they be able to do signage?
Yes, they will.
Okay.
So it's all about the services you need them to offer.
Okay.
But there are others too who specialize in specific things. For instance, when it comes to signage, there's a business at Okonglo Junction. They specialize in LED signage.
Oh,
I think it's
okay. I've seen
Upworks or
them.
something like that. Just at Okonglo Junction.
Yes.
Yes. So if
I've seen them.
it's signage that you want, yes, you can contact them as well. Right?
Okay.
But for projection mapping in Ghana here currently, MegaMark Stage Effects are the people that I know can be able to get you close to what you're looking for. Right. Now, aside the projection mapping, we can talk about event website builders. Now, you realize that for a lot of events, especially the huge events that are organized, you will sometimes need to have a website to keep people updated on all the information regarding the event that you are organizing on the website, both before the event, during the event, and after. So for instance, if you are organizing a trade show or an exhibition, you want to have the website to be able to guide all exhibitors at the event regarding developments pertaining to the exhibition, as well as where they can go to register for the event, where they can go to make enquiries and get reliable information regarding the event. Now, the best and most cost-effective way to do this is to build an event website and put all these important details on the website. Some websites can also be developed for specific events for the purposes of selling tickets. And in Ghana here, there's a platform called Tickets Pro, among other platforms where you can just go to buy tickets for different events that are being organized in Ghana. Now, these are all tools that make the work of the event professional easy, because if you have all the information that may be required by your event participants in one place, it saves you the hassle of having to answer multiple phone calls and respond to multiple requests for information, because everything is on the website. So they just go to the website and they go and access the information. And in the event, what they are looking for is not on the website. There's a tool that can be made available on the website for them to be able to leave their query, which you, the event professional, can respond to at your convenience. So event websites are an important piece of the event puzzle that makes the work of the event professional considerably easier. Now, when it comes to building websites, there are various tools online that you can use to build a website, and most of these are paid for. However, there are two platforms that you can use free of charge, and these include WordPress and Wix. Now, WordPress and Wix are very easy for people to use to build their website, especially those people who do not have extensive experience in computer science and are not experts when it comes to coding. WordPress and Wix are very easy to use to build a website. For instance, with Wix, it's just about using add and drop tools to create your website. So it's not about any intricate forms of coding, but you just go to the website, use the tabs provided, and follow the guidelines to use the drag and drop functions to build your website. And the one on WordPress is also very easy to build. And it's very popular among the bloggers who are able to build websites within a matter of minutes, which they can personalize to their individual needs and use to share information. So when it comes to building event websites, two key software or technologies that I would recommend are WordPress and Wix, given the fact that they offer free capabilities or free features that enable event professionals to organize and develop their own websites. Now, aside the event website builder, we can also talk about general event management software that provide multiple tools that help the event professional to organize the event from start to finish and coordinate all the various aspects of the event. Now, using these event management software, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, the event professional can be able to organize all the aspects of the event from start to finish and enable them to save time, as well as keeping themselves organized at all times throughout the event planning and execution process by knowing every task that has to be performed and knowing the status of each of these tasks as to whether they have been performed or not, and being able to keep track of their performance. So using these software, event professionals can manage every aspect of the event from start to finish. Now, there are various examples of these software online, most of which are paid for, including Trello, which is one of the very popular ones. However, it is one that you have to pay for. But if you had to pay for any event management software apart from Microsoft Project, which is this one, the one at the bottom, the last one, I'll advise you to go for Trello, because Trello is more easier to use in the sense that it helps you to be able to perform basic tasks and be able to check them off your list. So if you are into the to-do, doing, and done task management approach, Trello is the best for you. And you will agree with me that this approach to task management is the easiest and most straightforward. The task has either been done, it is being done, or it is yet to be done. And that way you can be able to determine
you are doing it.
Good. And that way you can be able to determine what needs to be done that has not been done, who is responsible, and how to get them to complete the task. So aside Microsoft Project, I would always recommend Trello. However, it is paid for. So you will have to pay to use the service, right? Along with a myriad others that are also paid for. Now, other sets of software include software like All Seated and Planning Pod, which I prefer mostly for the development and design of floor plans for event spaces. And this is because these software are specialized and provide unique features that help you to be able to properly customize your event floor plan and the way you want the venue to be set up for any events that you want to organize. And it will help you to generate.
One question, please. Are you events management yourself?
Small, but I don't do it professionally. Why?
Okay. Oh, I just wanted to know.
Oh, okay. You wanted to know whether you are using all you have, you are using everything in your mind.
Professionally as a job, but I have experience being part of the organizing of various events, like conferences and parties and stuff. And because I teach the course, I know a lot of the theory and then the in-depth practices in the field.
Okay.
Right. The way I'm able to talk about all of them.
So that like I'll be stealing small from you. So.
You can talk on the background if you need any additional information. That's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you're an event professional and you are working with
please, software, we will all talk at the background.
That's totally fine. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm available.
We are not talking about load shedding here, Harry.
You find
somewhere.
So for instance,
please, I beg you, I plan event too. I beg you.
So for instance, if you contact me about getting event management software, I'll first of all ask you the volume of events that you organize. Because if you're going to pay a certain amount of money to access Trello, and you're not going to get maximum use out of it, I'll not advise.
Okay.
Right, but like I said, all the details are context dependent. So we'll have to assess based on your situation, what is the best way forward. So please, like I said, feel free to reach out and then we'll figure it out. So like I said, with All Seated and Planning Pod, my preferred of the two being All Seated, because All Seated offers a free option and gives free video tutorials. All of them are available on the website for you to know how to use the software to build whatever it is that you want to build. We are going to demonstrate how to build a floor plan in class today using the software. So we are going to go straight to the website of All Seated. Oh, you don't sound excited at all. But why are you not excited?
Oh, I was doing yeah, and then I was doing yeah, just I didn't hear.
Oh, Jai, demonstration. Why did?
Okay, so I'm going to share the website because I've been using All Seated for a lot of things. I already have an account with them. So I'll teach you how to sign up for your own account before we proceed with the demonstration using my account.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the All Seated website. So it's allseated.com, right? So when you go to the page and then you don't have an account, you basically go to sign up. And as soon as you click sign up, it will give you options to help you set up your own account. I use the host feature, right? Because I'm not a venue owner. I'm not a professional event planner. I'm not a caterer. I'm not a vendor, but I host a lot of events. So I select, I am planning my own private event. And then to ask you for certain information, and it's very basic information. Once you finish providing the information, you can get started. So this is where you get to sign up and create your own account. Is that okay?
Okay.
Please follow the steps, and because your assignment after this will be to develop a floor plan.
Okay.
So you have to know how to go about it. So this is where you sign up. You enter your first name, your last name, your email address, then you create a password, and then you are good to go. Now, once you're able to create a password and then you get started, you will be able to sign in using the details that you have created, right? So here, I'm opening back the website. And like I said, I already have an account. So when I entered my email address, you can see that it automatically filled in my password because I've programmed it to remember my details. So I sign in, and as soon as I sign in, it lets me into the All Seated multiverse. Do you see that? Now, this is an event I created yesterday. I just wanted to check if my account was still active. Now, you can be able to add new events. So when you click new events, it will ask you the type of event you are organizing, the name of the event, and the dates that you are organizing it, as well as the expected number of guests. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Good. So let me delete this one and then we will start over. So I'm deleting this event altogether. Now let's start fresh. We are creating a new event, isn't it? Yeah. What's the name of this event of ours? What's the type of event? Is it a party or a wedding reception?
A party.
A party. Okay, so we type under event type party. So when you even try to click, it will give you options. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So is it a wedding, a corporate event, a not-for-profit event, a bar mitzvah, or a dinner party? I think we should go with dinner party.
Yes.
Then what's the name of the event? Let's use our course code, HOMT 611 party, right?
Yeah.
When will this party be in terms of the date?
Friday, next week Friday.
So next week Friday is like 28th, isn't it?
Yes, evening.
Okay.
Friday evening.
And how many people are we expecting?
We are 5 in the class, only 5.
Oh, 5 people will not help us.
Let's go for 100.
100 people.
100, yes.
Hey, I hear 2 people saying 100.
100.
Okay, so let's go for 100.
I was thinking of a larger number. 100 is fine.
Okay, so let's go for 100. So we create the event. So now we've created the event. So once we create the event, it opens up the rest of the interface for us, right? Where you can be able to create a planner. So that's why I said it helps you manage the event from beginning to end. The planner helps you to be able to schedule all the different events that you have. or different activities that go into the planning of the event. And then the caterer will help you to be able to enter the details of the caterer. Now, because this is a US platform, they do not allow you to enter your own caterer, but you can select from a list of caterers that are available in the area, right?
Okay.
Good. And then the same for the venues. Now, also, you can be able to add other members of your team who can come and help modify the event itinerary. Do you understand?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
So if I wanted someone else to be able to access it, I'll just click add user, and it will give me the option to be able to invite someone to come and join all seated so that they can be able to view this particular interface that I'm creating. All right. Now here, most important is I want you to be able to master the event floor plan, right? So we will go to seating, and that's where you develop the floor plan, right? So when you click on seating up here, it will open up the floor plan space. Do you see that?
Yes.
And it says new floor plan. Can you see it?
Yes, please.
Good. Now, if you're not familiar at all with the interface and you want to watch some videos, you can click on tutorials, right? And when you click on tutorials, it will open a whole interface with different video tutorials on how to use the different functions in the platform. This is why I like this particular platform for developing floor plans. Please, can you see that?
Yes, please.
Good. So it has different videos on how to build the floor plan, how to join tables, how to create object properties, among others. So when you go to the website, you can feel free to watch all the videos and then let it guide you on how to go about using the different properties of the software, right? Now back to the interface. So we are going to create a new floor plan. So we click new floor plan. And then here we are going to click create your own floor plan. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So it opens up the floor plan. So now we have to give the floor plan a name. We are going to call it the HOMT party floor, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, please.
So HOMT 611 party floor.
Yeah.
Okay, party floor plan. Let's do that. So now it's going to ask us the units by which we want to measure the size of the room. Now, remember that these floor plans are being designed to scale. So we need to use the dimensions of the actual room to be able to ensure that when we start doing the arrangements, it will fit into the space that we are working with. Am I making sense?
Yes, please.
Good. So currently we are going to use an imaginary specification in terms of the dimensions of the room. But in real life, if you were designing the floor plan for an actual room, you need to use the actual dimensions of the room to ensure that what you design will fit into the space.
Yeah.
Good. So here, let's use a hypothetical size. So in terms of room size.
So can we make it 15 by 20 feet?
15 by 20, isn't that too small?
Okay. So
in terms of the length, can we do 70?
50 by 80.
Okay, so the length will be 80.
Okay.
And then the width will be 50. So this is how big the space we are working with. Now you can change the background color. You can leave it at white or change it to any of the available colors. It's your choice.
Okay.
I think we should work with a white background. Okay, so then we click finish. And then we have our space. So it has loaded the floor plan, you see. So any changes we make to the floor plan will be uploaded and saved as part of the HOMT 611 party floor plan. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Now, whenever we exit and we come back, this floor plan will be saved the way we left it.
Yes.
Good. So you realize there are different tabs up here, isn't it?
Yes, madam.
Good. They all perform different functions. It's up to you to familiarize yourself with them. But usually when I do the floor plan, I don't use these tabs. I just do basic stuff because I don't have time to go around learning the use of all these different tabs. But on your own, you can go around and play with it and see what they each do and how it can help you improve upon your floor plan. So now that we have the floor space, we are going to objects. Now, objects help us to fill the floor space with different objects. right? So you can put in text, you can put in custom object shapes, you can put in lines, you can put in ceremony chairs, and then you can put in air walls and draping, depending on you, right? So for instance, if you click draping, we can draw draping from one point to the other. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So it means that we are putting draping on this side. So assuming we want to put draping all over the room, this is what we are going to do. We click on the draping, and then we do, hold on a moment, please. We click on the draping, and then we go wall to wall. Now in this case, we are covering all the walls in the room with draping. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because you may not like the color of the walls.
No.
So you may want to put draping to cover all the
Okay.
walls. So maybe we are using, what color does everybody like? That's gender neutral. Is it purple?
Fine.
Good. So we'll
That
put
would be-
purple. Yeah, so we'll put purple draping on this wall. And we are going to do the same thing all over the room. So we'll put draping again here. We are covering all the walls in the room because we want to sequester the participants in a particular atmosphere. So we are creating purple walls all over the room. Please, are you following?
Yes, please.
Yes.
So we are covering all the walls in the place. We don't want anybody to see any semblance of the outside because we are going to use projection mapping to make the room a bare room. Okay, please, can you see that? So we are saying that per the floor plan, if you pick it, you are supposed to see purple draping all over the walls in the room, isn't it?
Yes,
Good.
please.
Now we have the middle space and we have to arrange tables. So here you can decide different kinds of tables that you want to use. You want to use cocktail tables, and the cocktail tables, they have 4-seater and 6-seater. Then half rounds. Now these have to be used in consideration of the tables that you are going to rent. So if you know the tables you are going to rent, you cannot get a half round table. Don't use a half round table in your floor plan. Does that make sense?
Yes, dog.
So in Ghana, I know we only have round tables, rectangular tables,
Tables.
square tables, and
Tables.
cocktail tables.
Yeah.
I didn't see half round table in Ghana before. So, so we are doing round table. And most of the round tables, I know they have 10-seater and 5-seater.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So
Mostly done.
good. So are we doing round table or square table?
Square.
Let's do.
They have round, square, ovals, sweethearts. We don't have sweetheart table. We also have banquet table, the long
Let's
one.
do round.
Round,
Round
okay.
will take a lot. Once we get 10, we are done.
So round with 10 seats, isn't it? So we
Yeah.
click on it and then we come and drop it in here. So we have our first seats, right? Let me blow it up a little bit so that we can see the seats. Good. So this is how the draping has made our room small. You see that? That's taking
It
some of
looks
the-
like the one you shown us last week.
Good, but this time we are drawing it. Good. So this is our table, right? And this is the orientation. You can either make the people face this way to the left, or face to the right, or face down, or face, depending on where the high table is. Do you get it? So where they'll be facing is what will determine how the chairs will be positioned. So in this case, if we click here, it means that all the chairs must be positioned this way. You see that? You see that?
Yes, switch way, please.
You see it now?
Yes.
Good. So as I click, you see that the chairs will be changing direction. Just watch. Right now, they are all facing right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now I click below right, and then they all face that direction. You see that? You see that?
Yes.
Then I click the down arrow, then they all face down. And it will keep changing as I keep clicking the arrow. Meaning that whoever is setting the place, when they take this map, they know that the chairs are supposed to be facing this particular direction. Does that make sense?
Yes, please.
Good. That's why I said the floor plan is very, very important. Right? Now, these are the organized tabs. you can be able to send certain things to the front, send them forward, send them backward. And this is where you have different things layered on top of each other. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
so for
Doc,
instance,
so please,
yeah.
sorry, a question.
Yeah.
After you select the round table, that is when you get these features, the one that you were clicking up, down, right? After you click on the table, that's when you will get that feature.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to know where that feature had this feature. So after
Yeah.
you click on the table, that's when you get this one.
No,
Okay.
this one was developed before. The table came in because we clicked on a round table that could seat 10 people and we came to put it there. You get it?
Yes, yes. So I was thinking of how we got the one facing maybe the high table or facing. If you want to do that, you have to click on in the circle. Oh, okay.
Good.
Okay,
Right?
yes, on the table. Okay, I get it. Yes, Doc.
Right? And then you click the orientation to be able to get the chairs to move around that way. Now you can be able to multiply the tables by using the clone function. So you can either multiply them vertically or horizontally or upward or downward, right? For instance, watch, I've clicked on it. I want to clone it to the left. So, no, to the right. So I click on the right arrow and look at what happens. You see? So I've cloned it. I've created a version of it to the right. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Good. Now, how many of these tables do we need? We need how many? 10, because we have 100 people.
Yeah.
So I'm cloning it 10 times. 10, okay. So after doing this, we have 10 tables. Now we can move them around depending on where we want them to be positioned. So I want the tables to be scattered all over the room because of so-called social distancing protocols. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So I've scattered the tables all over the place. And I'm concentrating them in one area because I want to create a high table. Please, are you there?
Yes, please.
I want to create a high table.
Yeah.
So I've positioned the circles all over the place, and I'm going to put a high table somewhere here. I want them all to move forward. Aha, I think now it looks better. So I'm going to put my high table here in this corner of the room. So my high table is going to be made up of a square table. No, a banquet table, because it needs to seat a lot of people. So the high table will have about 4 people on it. So banquet table to sit 4 people will be put, no, not banquet table. It should be one of the other kinds of tables. Hold on. Let me see. Table with seats, okay. Okay, no. You realize the table options are so many, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to get a table with no seats. I'm going to get a square table of this size, and I'm going to put it, so it's too small. I need a bigger square table. So square table of this size, and I'm going to put it here, where everybody can face, right? And then I'm going to put some chairs around it, which is, so you realize that when I click on ceremony chairs, it is asking how many chairs it should put. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Good. So I need only 1 row. And how many chairs per row do I need? 5.
5.
I click OK. So those chairs have been created. You see that?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put it here by this table, and I'll rotate it so that they will sit comfortably behind this huge square table I've created. Please, can you see that?
Yes.
So I've created my high table with 4 chairs. 5 chairs, sorry. And you realize the orientation I'm using some side orientation of the room. So everybody will be looking towards the high table facing this way. Please, you see that? Good. Now this one, we are all viewing it in 2D. It's boring, isn't it? Now let's look at it in 3D and see what it looks like. So this is what our room looks like in 3D. You see, so it's showing us basically how the tables would look like. And you can zoom in. So we are looking at it from down. Do you see the chairs and the tables?
Okay.
You see them? We can rotate the room anyway, anyhow. Then we can reduce the dimensions. Now, another thing you can do is to create one table at a time and then observe it. So for instance, I'm going to delete all these individual tables and leave only one table. Wait, hold on a moment. Let me check something. Okay. So I'm going to delete all these individual tables and then show you another.
Madam.
Yes, Kasim.
Sorry, I'm just wondering the way you place the high table.
Yes.
Maybe because I don't have the exposure. In Ghanaian settings, when you go to the real life situation and you place the high table this way, yes, they may think that you are not trying to show kind of, I don't know. They may think that it's not like you're not show respect to the senior guys who will come and sit here at the corner. So I don't know if it's.
Kasim, please, whose floor plan is it?
This is a party.
No, whose floor plan is it? Who is drawing it? Who is drawing it?
The event professional.
It's my personal floor plan.
Okay.
And I'm drawing it based on the specifications of my clients. You get it?
Okay.
Good. So if my client wants this kind of positioning, who am I?
Okay.
Go and show my clients what they should and should not do.
I get it.
Do you get me?
Yes, please.
So at the end of the day, it's my business, right? Yeah, and yes, that's why you need to be able to get the event brief very well from your client.
Okay.
Good. Now, when you click on individual tables, you can name the tables, right? To be able to help you remember. So for instance, if it is a party and we are inviting all the students of the class, we can decide to make it based on year group. Okay. So hospitality year 1, hospitality year 2, IB year 1, IB year 2, moms year 1, moms year 2. Do you get it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
Then we have faculty, then staff. So let's name table 1 HNT 1, right?
Okay.
So table 1 is now HNT 1. Every time you click table 1, that'll be the name of the table. You can do it for all the other tables. Now you can individually design each table to meet certain specifications in terms of the placement of specific items. Now to be able to do that, you click Open Designer and it will take you to specific table design. Can you see that? So here we are designing HNT year 1 table, and we will start from the linen on the table. So are we putting crash velvet in Ghana? Have you seen crash velvet table linen available for renting before? What I know we have available for rent is what? Is it the satin table covers?
The satin white one.
The polyester.
It will be shiny.
The white polyester.
Satin. It will be shining.
To be shining. So they don't have satin. They are calling it Panama, Majestic, and polyester. So let's go for polyester because you know polyester is available in Ghana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what color should the table cover be?
It should go with the event color.
What's the
At
event
least
color?
a shade of it.
What's the event color?
Since you've used mauve.
Mauve. Okay, so we should
use
keep with the
mauve
mauve
for the
theme.
room.
So should we use there are 3 shades of mauve?
Different shade.
Purple, violet,
A light
and plum.
one.
This one. Plum. Okay. So we'll cover the table in plum. All right. And how do we see that the table has been covered in plum? We will go into 3D and it will show us the table cover in plum. Can you see that? Good. So now we've seen the plum color.
I think it's
Hey,
nice.
That's nice.
So we are thinking, will it match with our venue? Does it look good? If we don't like the color, we can go back and change it. And when we go back to 2D, we can determine whether we want the same color on all the tables. So we come up here. When you have it, you can see it says apply plum linen to all tables. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So do we want the same color on all the tables?
Yes.
Okay, so we click apply to all the tables. Then they will ask you, you're about to apply the plum linen to all the tables. Are you sure? And we are sure, so we are saying apply. So it's why now when we click on any of the tables, it will have the plum cover, right? Good. So now we've agreed on the linen. Now let's go to place setting. Dinnerware. What kind of plates do we want? Do we want charger plates, square plates, round plates, oval plates, bowls? What do we want to put on the table in front of everybody?
Square plates.
Square plates. Okay. What size of square plates? 11.5 inch, 8.5 inch, 10.5 inch, 8 inch, 6 inch, 5 inch, 4.5 inch. Which one are we going for?
8.5.
8.5. Great. So we click on it and then we set it in front of the marker chair. Now the reason being that if you put it anywhere, on the table, it will distort the alignment. Are you okay?
Okay.
So if you are positioning items on the table, you need to position it in front of the colored chair and it will apply to everybody.
Okay.
So when we go to 3D, you can see that it has been perfectly placed in front of everybody. You see that?
Yeah.
Everybody now has a square plate.
I want to go for party.
You want to go for party? Wait, when COVID ends, I don't want you to put your life at risk.
It's nice.
Okay. So back to 2D. Now that we have put these, are they going to eat in this or they'll eat in another plate? They'll eat in a smaller plate, isn't it? Which is a round plate.
Yeah.
So we will put a smaller plate in there, like a 6-inch round plate. So we'll put it in the charger plate, like so. Then it applies to everybody. So everybody has a charger plate and a small plate that they'll be eating in. Right? Then we'll go to the silverware. We are giving them forks. There are 2 types of fork, the salad fork and then the normal fork. Are we giving them both or just one? I think we should give them just one.
Yeah, the normal one.
So does the fork go on the left or the right? It goes on the left, eh?
Yeah.
Yes, left side. So fork for everybody. Then knife, the long knife on the right for everybody. And then we need to give them a spoon. In case for those who don't know how to use fork and knife. Where do we put a spoon? Does it go by the knife or by the fork?
By the knife.
By the knife.
Okay, so we put it there nicely, like that. We go into 3D and we can see the setup has been elegantly done. So everybody has, hey, what we chose wasn't a plate, it was a bowl. So the bowl is look at it from overhead and see what it looks like.
That's for soup.
Yeah.
It's pepper soup.
So we have to change it. We have to change it. That's not the bowl we are looking for. So we just click on the one here and then we delete it and it will go off for everybody.
Okay.
But they said round plates. And we chose the round plate and it came as a bowl. Okay, let's choose a bigger size, like a 10-inch. A 10-inch will cover the whole thing. Okay, 8.5. And let's see. Let's go into 3D and see. Okay, now we have plates.
Okay.
Now we have actual plates. Great. Okay. So drinkware. Are we giving them flutes for champagne and glasses for water? Or goblets for wine and glasses for water? Or we are giving them all 3?
They don't have all purpose.
That'll be the glass.
That will be the glass. So we give them wine and then the water glass.
Okay, so the water glass, there are two sizes, 2.75 and 3.2. Let's do 2.75 so you don't drink all the wine at a go. Then the goblet, the same thing. Okay, the goblet is only one size, so 3.25. So we put them side by side like that. And then in 3D, we can see the glasses have been added. Please, can you see that?
Yes.
Very nicely. Now, this thing, if you want to preserve it as is in 3D format, you just go here and it will ask you, note the printout captures the area that is visible in the floor plan window. So before printing, resize, zoom in or out so the window includes the area you want to be printed, right? And it will ask you if you want to include the logo and event details, which we want to, right? So when you click OK, it will open the print window. Can you see the print window or you can't?
You can see.
Okay, so when it does that, instead of printing, you save it.
Okay.
Do you see it? So you click on the destination and you click Save as PDF.
Okay.
Then it will save the image as a PDF for you instead of printing. Are you okay?
Yes.
Good. So you see, it tells us that it's for the HOMT 611 party on May 28, 2021. And then it is the HOMT 611 party floor plan. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Great. Cool, isn't it?
Very cool.
So let's cancel that. Go back to
This-
So we are applying everything to all the tables. So you realize that it says setting 1, which has been applied to all the tables. Now, depending on the level of expertise you are able to get in using the software, you can create different table settings for different tables in the same room. Are you with me? Good, depending on what your preferences are. So when you go to table setting, apart from, we have done with place setting, isn't it? We've got dinnerware, silverware, and drinkware. Now, table setting, the decorations on the table. Are we doing candles and candle holders?
What other option do we have?
I think
It's a dinner.
dinner, so we need
It will be in
candles.
the evening.
Or we use lantern.
Yes.
Lantern is safer than
Lantern
candles.
will add a touch.
Yeah.
Lantern
Okay.
will add.
So these are the lantern options we have. It's either the luminaries or the lanterns. And when I click on it, I don't get any options. So perhaps they've not added the options for each of them yet. Do you see that?
Okay.
But when we click the candles, the options come. The candelabras are here. So let's go for a big one to put in the middle.
Okay.
Let's go for 38 inches tall and just put it in the middle like that. Nice. And then put candles in it. 15 inch. So any of these candles will work. So we can put one candle in here, one in here, and another one in here. Please, can you see that?
Yes, please.
So we've added candles to the candelabra. And when we go to 3D, we can see the candles in the candelabra. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
The parties, the party venue is slowly taking shape. I'm with Kasim. This party must happen.
Life and color.
So this is the table we have set in 2D. And bear in mind, in 3D, sorry. And bear in mind, we said it should apply to all the tables. So that means that every single table in the room should be set up like this.
Yeah.
Good. So back to 2D and then back to general. Right? And then we'll go to summary. Sorry, we close the designer to take us back to our main space, right? So that means that all that we did applies to all these tables. So if we click even on this table and we go to open designer, it is supposed to have setting 1. Do you see? So when we click setting 1, it will appear on this table. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Good. That's why I said you can create multiple settings and apply them to different tables depending on what you feel. So because of that, we are going to create a different setting for our high table, right? So this is the high table. Are we putting a buffet setting on the high table? No. So let's open the designer for the high table. Now it is a plain table because there are no chairs on it. We did not attach the chairs. The table came with no chairs.
Okay.
See if we can attach the chairs to the table. You see, so if you want to attach the chairs to the table, you click and drag across. Can you see the two have been selected?
Yeah.
Then a tab is open. Can you see that? It says what? 2 objects. And then at the bottom, it says what? Can you see?
Group.
Group. So when we click group, it has grouped them together. So now it means they'll go together. Good. So when you click on it, it will show up as a group. Great. So now, let's go and try and modify the design. Let me click the table. Oh, okay, once you group it, does not give you the option to modify the two together. So let me ungroup first. Let's work on the table, and then we'll come and group it with the chair, and then we'll see it in 3D. Okay, so again, the linen for the high table, is it the same plum color?
No, let's go for something.
No, a different color will be fine.
Okay, so which color should we put in there for the high table?
We'll have a gold color.
They have gold.
Okay.
This is gold. Okay, so we are applying gold. Great. So the table is covered in gold. Then we want to go to buffet setting. Let's look at the serving items. So they are considering this table as a buffet table. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Good. But to us, it's not a buffet table. Meaning that perhaps we have chosen the wrong table for the event.
Is it the color that made it?
No, so in that case, we have to delete it. It's a buffet style table. So I'm deleting the chairs. So I think what we need is a long table. Or a table with chairs.
Do they have that option?
I think they should have a table with seats. Okay, so they have round tables with seats, oval table with seats, then square table with seats. Yes, they have square table with seats. Then banquet table with seats. So let's do the banquet table with seats.
Banquet, yeah, with 5 seats or something, or 6.
They don't have 5 seats. They have 2 seats, 4 seats, 6 seats.
So let's go for 6 seats.
I think 6 seats will be fine.
Okay, so banquet table with 6 seats. Then let's put it here. Yeah. So that's our high table. So they're asking us if we want to create a setting for this. Let's create it generically. All right. So table setting, the linen we said should be gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gold polyester. Then the place setting, the square plates that we are giving them. Should it be the same as the other tables? The same, is it 11.5 or 10.5?
10.5.
Okay, so we'll give them all 10.5. Great. And then we will give them a plate to eat off of, which will be the 8.5. Then we'll give them cutlery as well. 1 fork. And then a knife, the long one. Then a spoon. Then we will give them dinnerware, isn't it? 1 glass. And then 1 goblet for wine. And then we said we were going to put a candelabra, isn't it? In the middle of the table. I will give them a bigger one since they are the high table. Now, don't worry. It looks like everything is crowded, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask.
Hold on.
Yes.
We will go into 3D and you will see something.
We didn't cover the table.
We covered it with gold, like we agreed.
Oh, okay. It's not in 3D, so we can see.
Right now we are in 2D. We are positioning items. So right now everything looks crowded. To someone sitting back watching you as an event professional, I'm like, what's this woman doing? It's looking very cluttered. What is she doing? Does she know what she's doing? Then we go into 3D and wow.
Wow.
Ooh, ooh.
Voila.
Voila. Right? So the whole table is there. Everything is looking cool with the chairs that's been covered. You can see the settings. Everybody's thing is in front of them, right? I think the software is behaving a bit odd. So it has covered the chairs and the table. But that's not how it's supposed to be.
The other chairs are covered.
Yeah, but you get the idea. They are pushed under the table. You see?
Okay. Yeah.
They've been pushed under the table.
Or we apply
Yes.
the cloth before the plate.
Yeah.
Aha. That's why. The chairs were there before the table cover came. But you get the whole idea now.
Yeah, yes, please.
Good. So it's about being able to manipulate the system in such a way that you can put all the elements that you desire in place, right? We could have decided that, okay, we do not want the candelabra or the candles. So we remove all the candles. And then we rather go in for a vase with flowers. So here are the different sizes of vases. We can go for this type or this type or this type or this shape. Let's go for the oval one, and then we place it in the middle. Now let's look at it in 3D. Good. So this is the size of vase we have put there. Can you see that? So that means that we have to work on filling it with flowers to make the table look nice. Compared to the candelabra, I think the candelabra looks better than the vase. Maybe we didn't choose the right vase. Right. So the software is very fun to use, and you can even make notes. You see that? So this particular place setting, we can make notes for each of them. For instance, in terms of where's the vase that we just put there? We can click on the notes next to the vase and write that, please fill with plenty flowers. You see that? So I'm doing please fill with plenty flowers. And those are the notes that I have. So whoever my team managers are, once I share this with them by adding them in the page that we talked about at the details section, when they open it, they can be able to read and see the specific instructions I have given for each of the table items. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Good. So I've left a note here that for the one large round vase, make sure you fill it with plenty of flowers. That's why I said that this particular software will help you to manage everything from start to finish. And I love it so much because of the way it's able to make everything look very beautiful and realistic. And at the same time, too, it has a lot of free features that you can use. Lisa, I hope you are okay. Awesome. So far, any questions? So generally, we have set up all the tables. All right? We have set up all the tables in our space. But you can also customize other things in the room, like the way you position certain items. So for instance, you can decide to position a table somewhere for an appreciation book. Maybe the students want to sign an appreciation book to express their appreciation to the lecturers who taught them. So we will put a small cocktail table in one corner, right, for that purpose. So we'll put it in this corner. You see that?
Yeah.
Good. Then we can decide that, okay, we want to mark the entrances and the exits. So we can decide that we are creating a custom object over here. And then we are going to label it, right? So perhaps we will write entrance. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So this is the entrance. Am I making sense?
That's
good. Then we can decide that, okay, we will do some small thing here to represent the washrooms. So we'll create a rectangle here, and then we will type in it washrooms. Please, can you see that?
Yes, please.
It's a bit small, so we'll make it bigger, and then we'll move it up a bit for it to sit in. Good. So these are the washrooms. So if you want to use the washroom, it's this way from the entrance. So here we can even continue and make it entrance/exits, because it's the same place that people will use to exit. And so where the entrance and the exit is exactly where we are placing the book of appreciation table. So as soon as you enter, you meet the book of appreciation table. Please, can you see that?
Yeah.
Then we can create another table. This time we will make it a round table. And that will be the hand washing station. Okay, so the hand washing station must come first before the appreciation table. So hand washing station here, the appreciation table here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. So you can see I'm putting a lot of minute individual details depending on my specifications or what my client is looking for. And you realize that the number of items that you select are always checked here. So you can be able to see the number of round tables that you have here, the number of banquet tables, all of them will be indicated. So where you did not select that particular type, it will say 0. Please, can you see that?
Yeah.
Good. Right? And then moving on, you can also add chairs, like I said, independent of the tables that you have. So for instance, if it was a concert and we were doing VIP and regular attendees, we'll put the VIP people in front where we give them banquet tables because they will be served food. Then we'll put the regular people in the back, sitting in rows. Have you seen that setup at events before?
Yeah.
Good. So we'll put the VIPs in front with the banquet tables. And then we will put the regular people in regular chairs. Sorry, please, a moment. In regular chairs. So we can show the number of chairs per row. How many rows do we need? We need about 7 rows. And how many chairs per row? Let's do 10, because social distancing, we'll have 5 people, 1 chair between each of them. And then we will click OK. So it will create it here for us. You see, so that means that we will have those people sitting in these groups and we can multiply it. So if we have different sets of these, about 4 sets of these, it means that we will have a group of people sitting here, a group of people sitting here, and a group of people sitting here, all at the same event. Please, does that make sense?
Yes, please.
Let me increase the size and see where they are facing. Okay, they are all facing this way, isn't it? Let me see it in 3D. Okay, back to 2D. But this one, you can't open the designer, so you can't see where they are facing. But I presume they are facing this way. No, they are not. They are facing the other way because the round side is here. So it should turn like this. Aha, now they are facing the right direction. Can you see that? Good. So they are all facing this way. Nice. Nice. Okay, so they are all facing this way for the same event, right? Then we can also look at specifically the types of guests. And this is for the people who like to assign guests to particular tables. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not part of your assignment brief. Your assignment is to develop the floor plan for the events that you planned in your first assignment. Does that make sense?
First assignment.
See, in the first assignment, you created events. You remember?
Yes.
So the Kizomba, the press events,
okay.
the press events that Harriet created, Kasim's health. Is it health? Kasim, please remind us.
NutriFest.
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 Hey,
So the venue for the
remember.
NutriFest.
Yeah.
But for you didn't get to present. What was your event, please?
Bafatobush.
Bafo.
Bafatobush.
Yes, Doc.
What event did you design?
It was Cocoa Festival.
Cocoa Fest. So you have to design the floor plan for the event venue. Remember, we have discussed sample floor plans in the past. So you know what a floor plan is supposed to look like. Now, based on the brief, you are supposed to save the PDF version of this one, right? Which is the general floor plan. And then if you have individual table setups that you have done, you can also save and show those ones to us in class. So in our next session, everybody will present their floor plan and will tell us the elements in the floor plan and why they chose those elements to put in their floor plan.
Doc, our next session is on Tuesday.
Yes. So just like, so I'll close very soon so that you can have the chance to practice it with the rest of the time. Is that fair?
Okay. Okay, we can, Jifa, after Doc close, then we discuss, then we leave it to ourselves and we do it. How about that?
Good, because you will have about 1 hour to go through it. Good. So like I
Doc,
said,
please, should we?
I showed you how to save the 3D version, isn't it?
Yes.
Great. So you can use the same mode to save it. When you go into 3D, you have to use the printer function. But when you go out of 3D and you are in 2D, you can just click on PDF. You see that? And you can be able to save it directly. Are you okay? Good. So you save a 2D version of the floor plan, and then you can decide to also save a 3D version of the whole floor plan, and then save the 3D version of the individual table, because I want to see how you design your table, right?
So you are saving 2D version of floor plan, 3D version.
Which is this one?
So 4.
So this, no, so 3.
Doc,
yes, please go ahead.
Your screen is not showing anymore. That's 1. And then
Oh, sorry. I thought my screen was showing. Sorry about that. Let me.
And then 2. I was asking if we should use our first homework, the event that we plan, to set this table, like to.
Yes, I said it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Harriet, you were posting. Okay.
I was.
Okay, so what I said was the event that you created, develop a floor plan for that event. So that means that you should think about the participants of your event, the objective of your event, and then use that to inform how to design your floor plan.
Okay.
So currently, if you are designing a floor plan, I'm expecting to see certain elements, especially in the era of COVID. Let me leave it there before I give you too much.
Yeah, social distance.
I need you to save the 2D version of this, and then the 3D version, which will look like this. Then the individual table designs, right? You see, when you put it in 3D, you can see the designs on each of the tables. Do you see that?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So I need you to also save the individual table designs in 3D so that I can be able to see what exactly you did. So you click on the table, you open the designer, and then you go to 3D, and then you save the PDF of this one too as well, because I want to be able to see what elements you put on the table. Does that make sense?
So, madam,
yes.
in this case, does it mean that if I have a certain number of tables, I have to go to 3Ds to get them one by one like this on PDF, or one sample is okay?
If the designs are different for each of those tables, yes.
Okay.
But if it is one design for all the tables, just pick one table like I did. Open the designer, go to 3D, and then save the PDF of one. That will be okay. But if you have different tables, see in my case, I have the high table and this table.
Yes.
Good. So I'll save a PDF of this table, and then I'll also save a PDF of the high table.
Okay.
Right? Because those are the 2 main different designs that I have. See, so I'll save a PDF of this, and I'll save a PDF of the other one. you understand now, Kasim?
Yes, please. Thank
Great.
you.
The 2D version of the whole floor plan, 3D version of the entire floor plan, and then 3D versions of the individual table designs, assuming you have more than one.
Okay.
Great. All these should be saved in PDF. And then you are supposed to upload them into Sakai. So I'll set up the assignment in Sakai. And then I'll upload the assignment brief as well. So if you like, you can also go and download the assignment brief and then go through it. But you know what you are expected to do, so there's no problem. So let me quickly share with you what the assignment brief will look like.
So you said this website and everything.
I'll do what?